Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of Sweden's most beloved and slightly quirky traditions, the Kräftskiva or Crayfish Party. Picture this: late summer evenings, colourful paper lanterns, silly hats, and tables piled high with bright red crayfish. But have you ever wondered how this fantastic feast came to be? It's a story steeped in history, regulations, and a love for these little crustaceans. So grab a drink, get comfy, and let's travel back in time to uncover the origins of the Swedish Crayfish Party. Our story begins not with a party, but with a problem. Back in the 16th century, crayfish weren't exactly party food. In fact, they were mostly enjoyed by the aristocracy. King Eric XIV was a huge fan, but for the common folk, crayfish were more of a nuisance, often seen as something that dirtied the waters. It wasn't until the 19th century that their popularity started to trickle down to the middle class. As more people discovered how delicious they were, a new problem emerged: overfishing. By the late 1800s, Sweden's native crayfish, the noble crayfish, were in serious trouble. People were catching them year-round, and the population was dwindling at an alarming rate. The government had to step in. To protect the species, they introduced a strict ban on crayfish fishing for most of the year. The season was officially closed until a specific date in late summer. This date was known as the Kräftpremiären, or the Crayfish Premiere. Now, imagine you've been waiting all year for your favorite food. When that day finally arrives, what do? You celebrate, of course. The Crayfish Premiere became a national event. People would eagerly count down the days until they could legally fish for and, more importantly, eat crayfish. This anticipation turned the first crayfish meal of the season into a massive celebration. And just like that, the seed for the modern Kräftskiva was planted. Initially, these premiere parties were still quite formal, especially among the upper class. Think white tablecloths and fancy silverware. But as the tradition spread through all levels of society in the early 20th century, it became much more relaxed and boisterous. It moved outdoors into gardens and onto balconies to make the most of the last warm days of summer. This is when all the fun accessories we associate with the party today started to appear. The colourful paper lanterns, shaped like a smiling moon, or Papperslichter, became a staple, lighting up the darkening August nights. Then came the bibs, essential for staying clean while tackling a pile of crayfish, and, of course, the silly paper hats. Why the hats? Well, it's just part of the fun. It signals that this isn't a serious, stuffy dinner. It's a time to let loose and enjoy the company of friends and family. The focus shifted from a formal meal to a joyful, communal experience. Another crucial element of the Kräftskiva is the singing. Just like at midsummer, Swedes love to sing drinking songs, known as snapsvisor, at their crayfish parties. Each time someone proposes a toast with a shot of snaps, a song is sung. These songs are often humorous and help to create a lively, festive atmosphere. It's all about camaraderie and shared fun. A Kräftskiva without singing is hardly a Kräftskiva at all. Now, you might be thinking, if the ban was so important, what happened to it? Well, here's a twist in our story. In the 1960s, a plague devastated Sweden's native noble crayfish population. To compensate, Sweden began importing a more resilient species from America, the signal crayfish. These imported crayfish weren't subject to the same fishing ban. Then, in 1994, the official fishing ban was lifted entirely. You'd think that would be the end of the crayfish premiere, right? But the tradition was too strong, too beloved to disappear. Even though Swedes can now buy frozen crayfish year-round from all over the world, they still overwhelmingly choose to celebrate Kräftskiva in August and September. The tradition has become completely detached from the original law. It's no longer about a fishing premiere. It's about culture. It's about celebrating the end of summer with a uniquely Swedish ritual. So, from a royal delicacy and a conservation law to a nationwide party, the Kräftskiva has had quite a journey. It's a perfect example of how a practical regulation can evolve into a cherished cultural tradition that brings people together. It's about more than just eating crayfish. It's about savoring the last moments of summer, enjoying the company of loved ones, and embracing a little bit of silly, joyful chaos. And that's the story of the Swedish Crayfish Party. It's a tradition that beautifully captures the Swedish spirit of celebrating nature, community, and the changing of the seasons. I hope you enjoyed this little trip through Swedish history. Have you ever been to a Kräftskiva? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more cultural deep dives. See you in the next one.